Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So I've got my Demon Prince from my Premier Box 2. Got this base here, 60mm base. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just sort of kit bash it if you like a bit. Tools today is that, and what I'm going to use is some blue foam board. Just going to give them a bit of height and yeah, it's going to look groovy. So here we go. So with the first step completed, what I did was got the 60mm base from the Demon Prince, turned it upside down and just drew a line basically just around the actual base. Not a line, a circle. So drew the circle there, and that is how we're just basically gonna work off this bit, all this bit here. So yeah, let's take you to the next stage and we'll see how it looks. So with that task finally done, I've cut around the lines that I did, and I should have a somewhat circle. So obviously against the base, because we used a biro as a template there, to mark the template out, and there, kind of fits nicely. Obviously I use this cutting tool, and I was extremely careful so I don't cut my fingers off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next stage, and that's going to be marking where the Demon Prince is actually going to be standing on this. And I'm going to put sort of like cut somewhat down here, and then yeah, you'll see it's going to look absolutely, hopefully absolutely amazing. But there you go, kind of looks like a bit of like a rock effect. That's what I kind of want, and I'm obviously going to add more onto it in time. So there we go. Let's get on with the next stage and mark it out with the Chaos Demon Prince. So as you see here, I've marked it all out. Now what I've done is here, I've put two little holes here. Excuse me. This is to represent where his claws are, if you like, once they're extended out. So I've drawn this line here, these two lines, and I've widened it here, as you can see there. And yeah, that's going to be a nice feature part to the end. So what I'm going to do is next, with my cutting tool, being extremely careful, I'm going to start cutting away at this, and then we'll have a look at the next stage. So yeah, I'll see you all in a bit. So there we go, next stage done. At the base, as you can see, I've chipped a bit of a way of it there, and sort of left a crevice as well going through. I don't need it to be tidy. I am going to tidy up a bit more, but that's what we've done so far. So we are going to be moving on with the base. I've put the Demon Prince up on it, and it still looks absolutely cool. So yeah, let's go on with the next stage of the kit bashing his base. Okay, so we now have our molding foam stuck to the stand, glued on nice and tight. What I'm going to do is next is I'm going to get some green stuff. I've marked the green stuff out, and then green stuff, obviously with this stuff, it's 2-part proxy. What you need to do is squash it down and start mixing. Right, so here we go. Mixed it. Should look like a piece of poo. Once you know it's all done, basically it just stays one colour. It's green. The two proxies, the yellow and blue, totally mixed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start breaking bits off at a time. And this is going to be used as a lava effect. Now the only tool that I do have for this, hopefully it works, is something from the Citadel range. Obviously something you might use for your bases and the liquid green stuff. So obviously in the groove, in fact we use a tool in the groove here. What I'm going to do is quick description. On here, green stuff, in here, green stuff down here. So it's going to look like a lava effect going all the way down to here, and basically covering the glue that I used to stick down the blue sheet of foam. So I'm going to start bit by bit. I'm just going to start ramming that in there. And hopefully this works. Get it in there. Trying to sort of like get it out the actually top end of the crevice. Push it down bit by bit. Fill in the back because we can't leave any bits. Get rid of that like little towel thing. Push it down. Use our end of the tool because this crevice thing is quite small. The thing is, we might not have enough of green stuff to actually do all of it, but if we don't, we will come back to it. Stuck to my fingers now. So still using the tool, and obviously also making sure when you are using this stuff, if you do feel it getting a bit hardened, just put it under the tap for a bit and just keep rolling, and it actually does soften up. So start shoving it in there so it looks like the lava is actually overflowing. And then, as I said before, what we're going to do is it's all going to come down here as it looks like a pool. Obviously, got to side it up anyway. I know I'm pushing it in, just getting it nice and tight into the base, but I can obviously use my tool, get somewhat shape. Yeah, it looks like we are going to need to get some more green stuff on there. Start rolling some more green stuff out in a bit. So here's our first lot of green stuff. And then I will see you all very soon as I roll some more green stuff. Okay, so took a couple lots of green stuff, but here we are. So that's all flattened in onto the base. Just obviously, as I said before in the earlier on. So what it is, this base for the Demon Prince, and this is going to be lava flowing all the way through the crevice and basically just a pool. So I will see you all very soon on the next one, and see you in a bit. So here's the next part of the base all done. As you can see on the rocks here, just so it doesn't look properly smooth, some of the bits I actually cut out, I actually stuck glue to it. I have also glued a Space Marine Primaris arm hanging out of the lava. And what I'm next going to do is I'm going to start painting all the rocks in Abnett Black from the Citadel colour range with my Tatty paintbrush, and I will see you all very soon when it's done. Okay, so what we've painted is obviously Abnett Black. We've done these. Now we've obviously got the green stuff, and we need to start painting that in. I'm going to use Corax White. Also, I'm going to use Corax White 4 is the Space Marine arm right here. So give it a bit of a shake. Put some water on the brush, and then what we're going to do is, as I said, just start painting the lava for now. Okay, so obviously with the base, painted that in black. Now what we're going to start is, we're going to start to dry brush it. So firstly, I'm going to use a dry small brush with some Dark Reaper. And what we're going to do is once on the brush, get a bit of a wipe on some paper, like so. And then we're just going to start finding all the raised points of the base. and that goes with all the rock. You'll start to see it sort of like changing colour. I'll see. I don't think that's enough, so I'll get a bit more on it, and we're just gonna keep brushing. So I'm gonna do this, and then I will see you all very soon. Okay guys, what we did last time, we dry brushed the rocks with Dawnstone, not Dawnstone, sorry, Dark Reaper. We are now going to use the next one, which is Dawnstone, obviously from the Citadel range paints. So I'm going to wet my brush bit, get some paint on my brush, and then I'm not actually going to rub it all off, because what I'm going to do is just start highlighting some of the parts, edges, the rocks first, and I'm just going to brush it in. So go on there, both sides, nearly done. So I'll get this done, and then I will see you all very soon on the next stage of the painting. So that was our final stage of the highlights of the rocks. It's giving this kind of charcoal effect. Next, what we're going to do is, obviously, we made the lava from the green stuff, and then we painted it, obviously, in the white. Now, my first colour I'm going to go for is Fire Dragon Bright, obviously from the Citadel range. And I'm going to start using orange on an old brush and just start painting the over the white now. This will take a few coats, but yeah, just bear with it and it will look absolutely amazing. And here's the finished base. So let's talk about what I actually used as paint. So all from the Citadel range, a layer Uriel yellow, and I also used a Corax white. I also used a Wild Rider red, and also Abdon black. However, a lot of these colours I did water down. Obviously, yeah, it's a bit of a messy lava flow, but hey, it's the world of Warhammer 40,000, so it's never gonna look, you know, it's just gonna look weird, isn't it? So there you go. Here's my base. Obviously, the Space Marine arm, painted it in Caliban green. So he's representing a poor Dark Angel Primaris Marine that's gone down. So there's colour there, Caliban green. I did somewhat highlight the edges, and with that I gave it a layer of paint of Warpstone Glow. So there we go. That is ready for the Demon Prince to go on there, and yeah, that'll be the next video. Get the Demon Prince painted up, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the finished result. Thank you all, and I'll see you soon.